Seth Rollins was injured on Raw in his match against Jinder Mahal. And unfortunately, there is a sad update about Seth's current medical condition as his wife, Becky Lynch, reacts to this tragic news. We are now learning that Seth Rollins and his family were in danger during Raw. This is because of a major snowstorm. For the first time ever, Seth Rollins allowed WWE cameras on Raw to show him holding his daughter Rhea, something that Seth Rollins ordinarily would say no way. But because his family was involved in a very dangerous situation, he decided to say yes, and the mother of Rhea, Becky Lynch, was just off camera. After Raw went off the air, we learned of the danger that Seth's family was in due to the snowstorm, as snow was beginning to pile up on the roof of the arena, and there were worries that the roof would cave in. WWE was so worried that they had to alter the Titantron at the entrance area, so the Titantron could not hang from the ceiling or else it would cave in the entire arena. So they instead built scaffolding to hold the Titantron. Seth and Becky were very scared because they had brought their young daughter with them. It turned out to be okay in terms of the snowstorm and the roof, but another scary, dangerous situation would happen towards the end of Raw, and could it possibly end his run as champion? It all started when Seth Rollins, in the main event, put his title on the line against Jinder Mahal. During the match, Seth Rollins performed a springboard moonsault. Upon landing, his right knee slammed onto the canvas, severely injuring it. You could see when he landed that he was in serious pain, and he knew that something bad had gone wrong. He already had to worry about enough stuff already with the snowstorm, the possible roof collapse, his family being in danger, but then he had to worry about this injury. Seth muscled through, finished the match, but it was obvious he was in bad shape. And now fans are wondering, what is the current status of this serious injury to Seth Rollins? Let's get to the latest updates right now. Sometimes in professional wrestling, it is very hard to tell what is real and what is scripted. And a lot of times, WWE likes to do scripted injuries. During a match, somebody's leg gets hurt, the opponent begins working the leg, the arm gets hurt, the opponent begins working the arm, putting him in holds and things like that to further injure the arm or leg. But then after the match, it turns out it was all part of a script. Nothing was real. So it's very hard to tell when injuries happen in WWE. Is this part of a script or is it real? We are now learning that the injury that Seth Rollins suffered in the Jinder Mahal match on Raw is 100% real. This was not part of a script. This was not supposed to happen. And when it happens to the world champion of that show, it becomes a very serious situation, because what do? Do you force that wrestler to vacate the title? And that is why this injury is raising so many questions, because we are now headed into WrestleMania season. The Royal Rumble's around the corner. We have Elimination Chamber coming up, and then WrestleMania in Philadelphia. So this is the worst time for Seth to sustain an injury that is going to cause him to be gone from WWE. But the question is, how serious is this injury? Is it just one of those injuries where you get injured in a match, WWE doctors help you out, they put ice on it, and they send you home? Or is this a kind of injury that could cause Seth Rollins to be forced to vacate his title, or even worse, retire from wrestling forever? We'll get to the latest update on what is going on with Seth's injury in just a moment, but something that was caught on a fan video has just surfaced about Seth's injury. Just after Raw went off the air and Seth wrestled in the match against Jinder, Seth spoke to the audience, thanked them for coming during a major snowstorm, and as he was talking, he was seen severely limping. That right knee obviously was hurting so much that Seth could not put any pressure on it. Word is that once Seth got to the back, WWE doctors quickly attended to him and began working on the injury, as Becky Lynch and his daughter watched in fear as the man they love was in terrible pain, and he was obviously very scared about the injury and what it could mean to his career in WWE. Doctors backstage examined the injury to Seth and determined that it was very serious and that Seth needed to be transported to the hospital immediately. So he was put on a stretcher, put in the back of an ambulance, and rushed to a local hospital during a snowstorm in Little Rock, Arkansas. And word is that Seth has not been released from the hospital, that he is still there, as doctors are working around the clock to figure out how bad this injury is and how much time he may lose in WWE. There are rumors that this is a very bad injury, the kind of injury where you would not be able to be cleared to wrestle for many months, possibly 6 months or even a year. It is not looking good for the current heavyweight champion of WWE, Seth Rollins, as his wife, Becky Lynch, is very scared about what could happen to her husband and if he will be able to continue in WWE as champion, or could it sadly all be over? What are your thoughts about Seth Rollins appearing with his daughter Rue on Raw for the first time? And what are your thoughts about the injury that Seth Rollins sustained against Jinder Mahal? Leave a comment below and give me your opinion. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell notification and check out our new YouTube channel, Wrestling News Now Insider. Click on the link to visit it now, and you will get brand new exclusive videos.